Without goals, it is so easy to get burnt out, frustrated, and bored. And that's across everything, whether it's an exercise program, whether it is how you eat, whether it's your job. And we're here to talk about your job. So, part of the SMART goals that people talk about, I'm going to talk about two of those areas today. I'm talking about attainable and relevant. There's nothing worse than setting a goal that there is no possible way you will be able to achieve, no matter what you do. Either it's so far out there or it's out of your control. You just can't achieve it. And if someone else is in control, again, that can't be a goal for you. Because if you're going to pick goals, it's got to be goals that you can control. So we're talking about attainable, and these have to be goals that are realistic and they're achievable. So that you can be successful at achieving them. And yes, it's going to be a stretch. You always want your goals to be a stretch. You don't want them to be like right here and you reach the goal, the fifth day in. No, you want the goal to be out here. It's going to be a stretch, but you can achieve it. And this is why you need to be able to sit down and answer these questions. How can I accomplish this goal? Make sure that there's a way that you can accomplish the goal. So if you say to yourself, okay, I want to increase the amount of clicks I get this month on my email blast. Well, how can you accomplish that? You could sit back and look at previous emails. You could rent more lists. You could change up your campaign. So you've got to make sure that you can accomplish the goals. And then how realistic are these goals with certain constraints you might have? Staffing, always financial. Financial factor is definitely in there for most of your goals. And your buy-in. You got to have buy-in. When you're in a company and you want to set goals for your department, you have to make sure everyone on your team buys into these goals, that they believe they're realistic and you can obtain them. But you also have to have the other departments understand your goals and buy in, that they get them. Especially when you're on the marketing side, you want to make sure sales is aware of your goals, and then they can back you up. And that brings us to the second point of being relevant and realistic. The goals have to be relevant with what you're trying to achieve. Does it seem worthwhile for you right now to do this? And you got to be able to answer yes to all these questions. Is this the right time for you to be setting these goals and trying to achieve them? Does this match your effort and your needs? Think about it. Do you want to spend the time putting together a webinar series to attract new people, but maybe you don't have the back end set up? So why are you going to attract new people if you don't have the back end or the sales team ready to nurture those leads into becoming buyers? So that's part of making sure it's relevant for what you're trying to do at this time. And you got to retain control over the whole process of what you're doing. You get buy-in from your team. You get buy-in from the company, that everyone understands what goals you're trying to achieve. They're able to take those, if you reach your goals, they're able to take them to the next level. And so these are all things you have to think about as you're setting up your goals. You have to have goals. Goals are your North Star. Goals are everything that keeps everyone on that straight path of going in one direction to achieve them, to help your business grow. So make sure your goals are definitely attainable. And I'm not saying, there's going to be times where you're not going to achieve those goals, but that's okay. You tried. And then you tweak it. You figure out what you did wrong and you go back. But it's not that they were so far out here that you're like, well, forget this. Why do I even bother? There is no way I'm going to achieve that goal. You don't want to do that. You want these goals to be attainable. You want your team to be able to achieve them, and you want them to be relevant for what you're trying to do as a company. Now, these are two parts of setting SMART goals, but I want you to start thinking about them. What goals could you set up right now that are definitely attainable and also relevant for what you as a department wants to do, but as a company as a whole wants to achieve? Because isn't that it? You want all the departments working together to achieve the goal. And I know, yes, it's increased sales. I get that. But there's got to be other goals with being more specific. You can't keep them broad. We talked about that in tip number 6 about making them, was it 6 or 7? Maybe it was 7. Yeah, it was tip number 7 about making specific and measurable. So you got to put specific numbers to them. You want to double your leads by 200%. You want to increase your website traffic by 50%, whatever it might be. So take this time right now. Sit quietly, think about what goals could you achieve and are they relevant? I'm a big proponent that you sit down, you write this stuff down, and then go out for a walk. Think about your answers, and then come back and see if there's anything you might tweak or add to it. If you have any questions for me, please feel free to email me at dpeterson@worldinnovators.com. Definitely hit the subscribe button below to subscribe to the YouTube channel for World Innovators so that you will get our next tip, which will be tomorrow. We're doing one every business day in July so that at the end of July, you will have a whole plan set up on how you can gain quality B2B marketing leads. Talk to you soon and have a great night. Bye.